Good morning, everyone. Shalom Aleichem, Tyra Freunde. This is a great day for the YIVO Institute, for the Center for Jewish History, all of the partners in our building, because this is the first time we have brought all of you together here. Let me tell you a couple things about this building, about the Center for Jewish History, about the partners, about YIVO, about our interest in this subject. The Center for Jewish History was established in the year 2000 for the purpose of bringing a variety of Jewish, essentially archival institutions together, repositories, for the purpose of safeguarding the documentary history of the Jewish people in America, in Eastern Europe and Russia, in Germany, and so forth. The center consists of the YIVO Institute for Jewish Research, which was founded in Vilna, Poland in 1925, the American Jewish Historical Society, which was founded in the late 19th century here in America, the Leo Baeck Institute that was founded after the war in Germany, the Yeshiva University Museum, which is an exhibition space devoted to Judaica and exhibiting partner organization materials, and the American Sephardi Federation, which is devoted to the history of Sephardi Jewry. The YIVO Institute, as many of you know, but not all of you, was founded when Vilna, now Vilnius, was Poland, not Lithuania. It was founded at a time of great optimism because of the signing of the Minorities Treaty in the wake of World War I and Versailles, but at the same time, a period of intense anxiety. Many particularly who were the founders of the YIVO Institute, were highly aware of the devastation that was wrought by the Russian Civil War, the pogroms of 1919-1920, which were simply 100 years ago, in which hundreds of thousands of Jews were murdered across the length and breadth of Eastern Europe, by the whites, by the Black Hundreds, by the Bolsheviks, by Ukrainian nationalists, by Cossacks, you name it. And so it was a time at which, in addition, there was also tremendous assimilation of the Jewish people into different national cultures, into Russian culture, Ukrainian culture, Romanian culture, a Polish culture. And there was a feeling that our history and our traditions could get lost. This was not new. This was something that animated Shimon Dubnov, as well as Ansky, that led to the Great Ansky Expedition of 1912, 1914. For the purpose of documenting as much of Jewish history in the Pale of Settlement as was possible to do. 1,000 years, essentially, of Jewish history in the Pale of Settlement. And so Ansky went throughout, recording songs, getting folklore, collecting objects, and so on and so forth. And the YIVO Institute became the repository, one of the repositories of the Ansky expedition. And we have in this building the records of the Ansky expedition, including original pages, handwritten pages of the great play that he wrote, the Dybbuk. But YIVO is more than that. In this building and in our warehouse in Newark, we have some 23 million documents pertaining to the world of Jewish experience. Sholem Aleichem, Bergelson, Peretz, diaries, school records, the organizational records of Grossinger's Country Club. We have jokes. We have what I have just discovered to be a rather extensive and unique archive of Yiddish pornography, which we have not yet fully explored, but we are intending to do with great enthusiasm. We have the archive of the Bund. We have Shimon Dubnov's extraordinary collection of rabbinical writings. We have material in Yiddish, in Hebrew, in Polish, in Russian, in French, in German. We have materials going back to the 16th century, and we have materials that were collected during the World War II and the Holocaust in the ghettos. Some of you may have seen recently the Roberta Grossman movie based on Sam Kassow's book, Who Will Write Our History, which is about the Ringelblum archive in the Warsaw Ghetto. Part of the Ringelblum archive is here at the YIVO Institute. When I went to Moscow not long ago, I was told that there was a new museum of Jewish history, and in that Museum of Jewish History, one of the founders of it proudly told me they had 5,000 artifacts. When I said to him, Dr. Connor, this is marvelous, and I'm very delighted to know that, but you should know that YIVO has 23 million documents, and he refused to believe me. He thought I was just an American liar. And it took him quite a while of research, and finally he came to New York to have a look for himself. And he said, now I know you're telling the truth, and I want to have a partnership with you so that these immense riches can become known to my community in Russia. And so part of what we're doing now is, in fact, digitizing as much of this material as we possibly can and putting it on the internet. And I must tell you that one of the impetuses for this conference today is that we discovered an enormous quantity of material that had never been seen before in Vilnius, Lithuania. Material that had been hidden during the Holocaust in a church. That is, it had been hidden, and then after the Holocaust, when the Soviets wanted to destroy it a second time, it was hidden in a church, and only came to light in 1991. But there was a subsection of that even in 1991 remained unknown, and that's what we recently discovered, 170,000 new documents. And among them was a poster. And on the poster was the word Antifa. And I was stunned. It seemed to me that that was very far away from our world, but it was not far away from our world. And I began to think about this more and more and more. And of course, I'm not a Yiddishist, but Soviet history and Soviet literature and Soviet Jewish culture is an area of great interest to me. And I'm well aware of the Dadaists, and I'm well aware of Russian futurism, and I'm well aware of a huge subculture within Russian literature, Russian history, that was Jewish, and always seemed to me to be bordering on anarchy, anarchic principles, and anarchism in one way or another. And I began to wonder, why was this never talked about at YIVO? I don't have to believe in my nose to know that I have one and to accept that it's there. I don't need to believe in the pineal gland to study it. I don't have to believe in anarchism to know that it is an integral part of my world. And yet, YIVO and the Center for Jewish History, and the more I thought about it, most of organized Jewish life did not want to talk about this, did not want to make itself available to understand itself, because I think that's what's at stake, which is how can we understand ourselves truly without understanding the whole of who we are. And so, in a way that perhaps Spencer Sunshine will describe in more detail when he speaks, I managed to get in touch with Spencer. And I want to thank Spencer for his energy and his imagination and his contacts and his vision for what this could be. But it was through our conversations, and I think the biggest thing I want to thank Spencer for was his openness to have these conversations, because after all, what on earth would a stodgy institution like the YIVO Institute have to do with this cauldron of energy and life that I see in front of me right now? Everything, exactly. Thank you. Everything. We just have to demonstrate it. We just have to show it. And Spencer was open to that. And so I want to thank Spencer. I want to thank our wonderful group at YIVO, Alex and Ben and Jane and many others who are here and who are wearing tags. And for those of you who want to find out more about YIVO and want to find out more about our programs and so on and so forth, please do get in touch with Ben or Alex or Jane. Please visit the booths outside where you can pick up information about YIVO, about our programs. Think about signing up for our summer program. I see a couple people here from our summer program where we teach Yiddish intensively. And I think they will tell you it's a great program. And we have tours, and there are a whole variety of different activities and programs that I am delighted to be able to introduce to this group. So, without more ado, I want to thank all of you for coming. Again, I want to thank Spencer. I want to thank the organizers. And I want to thank all of the energy and imagination and creativity that is in this room now. Thank you very much.